My name is Davenport, and I am the chair for the Chester County Community Foundation. My day job is Vice President for University Advancement and External Affairs at Westchester University, hence the reason I'm branding WCU. Well, and I'm supposed to be in two places at the same time, so after we do this piece, I've got to run over to the university. Otherwise, I would be dressed more like Ajené in a suit. First of all, I would like to just say thank you all for coming today. Beautiful Saturday, and you are dedicating your time to be here, which tells me you are dedicated to the cause for which you serve. And at the Community Foundation, you know that we believe in connecting people who care with causes that matter so that their philanthropic efforts will last from now and forever. And I won't steal your thunder because
You just said it right.
Oh. Oh, let me read that. And you'll learn more about what we do, but I just wanted to take a moment to also thank the staff that works with the Community Foundation, the folks you saw when you were checking in, folks around the room. Can you all raise your hands, and let's give these folks a round of applause if you're on, yes. And we also would like to thank the trainers. If the trainers are in the room, can you raise your hand so we can recognize, and let's give them a round of applause. Obviously, we'd like to thank you, Karen, for helping us pull this all together and make it work, but then also for you all. I think it's important that we celebrate the fact that you're here and know that the work that you do makes a difference in the lives of many. And I think about it this way, not just the folks you serve, but for generations to come. We are making a difference for folks who aren't even born yet. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for your commitment. Thank you so much for your service. And thank you so much. Yeah, that's all right. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. So what I would like to do is do a brief overview of what the Community Foundation does for board members and nonprofits so that you know. And then there's a couple other resources I'd like to bring to your attention. And we also have time for a discussion before we break out into our workshop rooms. So we've got some discussion questions for you, and we've got some folks to help prompt the discussion along. How many of you have been to the Board Institute in the past? Can I see a raise of hands? All right, so I'm going to say about a third. That's great. So for the third of you who keep coming back, thank you. You get the prize too. With the Community Foundation, just so you know as a board member, and wait, how many of you are board members? And how many of you are executive staff? Okay, so about 20%. And how many executive staff brought board members with them? Everybody, I hope, right? You saw how we priced it, so if you come alone without a board member, nasty. Got to drag one somehow. But no, thank you, everybody, for your commitment today to coming out for this. So the Community Foundation was founded in 1994, and our offices are located in downtown Westchester. And we are about legacy philanthropy, as Zeb said. It's helping connect people in the community who have resources to make grants forever to nonprofit causes. So that's the connecting people who care. And we have a collection of over 400 individuals who have endowed funds with the Community Foundation, and we get to the pleasure of talking with them each and every day and night about what causes they're interested in funding. So the grants that come out of the Community Foundation really come from the entrusted funds and the families and individuals who make those decisions, sometimes with our help and sometimes on their own. We're a conduit for their philanthropy. And we have about 120 million in entrusted funds today, and another 75 million in the pipeline that we know about, and a lot that we don't know about, because that's how planned giving works. And that's what I want to be able to talk a little bit about with you today. When you look at these different kinds of funds we have, some of our funds are with the individuals. 15% of our funds that we hold in trust are nonprofit organizations whose endowment we steward. If you know, do you have an endowment fund with the Community Foundation? Does anybody know? Yeah, some of you know. This is good, because a lot of times board members are like, oh. So yes, we have about 70 nonprofit endowment funds, and our job is to help you make them grow. So as I said, these are affiliated from, Corey, you're here. Yeah, you were younger then, but you're still pretty good. Anybody else see themselves up there? Thank you, Corey Bell. That is when Clifford D. Baptiste started Legacy Funds. And actually, one honors, is it your dad? Your uncle? That's your uncle. Yeah. So that's your uncle. And you are still making decisions on these grant funds and for educational purposes and scholarships. So that was started 10 years ago and still going. Yeah, so thank you, Corey, for coming today and start getting that started. So families and community groups whose funds we hold in trust, and we help them grow. And then, as I said, the grants are made by people whose funds we hold in trust. Anybody up there? You'll see yourself. Corey, I think you're there again having lunch. That's you all making a scholarship decision, right? Yes. Yeah, that's Corey serves on a couple of how many scholarship committees do you serve on, Corey? No, we've narrowed it. Yeah, we combined them all so that you would only have one gathering. Yeah, this is great. So you can see that the people are making the grant and scholarship decisions over a delicious lunch in our offices. Yeah, and they happen all kinds of ways. So the fact is, we are really about long-term legacy gifts. And our job is to help nonprofits who probably don't do a lot of legacy plan giving stuff, because that's what our job is, to do that so that you can run your program. We have a legacy society, and these are people who have told us that they've left a bequest to their fund in their estate plans. And some of you are here right now. I can see the picture, so thank you very much. And I, too, have left a bequest in my estate plan, except I didn't put my picture up. But a lot of the folks who are doing your training today are part of the Community Foundation family, too. So the legacy funds make a difference now and forever. These are the different programs we run. We help families. We try to do youth philanthropy. Again, we're going to talk about what we do to help nonprofits and include more people, and what we're doing to build community heritage and culture. And did you know that the United States is going to celebrate its 250th birthday in 2026? Yeah, so we're helping make sure everybody knows that and gets involved. And plus, some of you are with our Get On Board program. Yes? Yeah, good. So we have all kinds of programs that feed into this whole legacy funds we hold in trust. After today, you'll be welcome to Zoom into our free nonprofit roundtables, and Connie, Corinne, and Robbie are facilitating them way in the back. Thank you, Robbie and Connie and Corinne. And then we do trainings on the alternate every other Mondays at noon. So please Zoom in at noon anytime you want on Mondays to join in for our board talk sessions and trainings. For nonprofit organizations, how many of your organizations have endowment funds, whether they're with the Community Foundation or anybody else? Okay. So community foundations were started over 100 years ago so that this whole plan giving thing, this intergenerational transfer of wealth, colleges, universities, hospitals, and large religious institutions do really well with plan giving and major gifts and intergenerational transition of wealth. They have alumni, right? So congregations, patients, and they really are thinking about planned giving and do it well. Community foundations were started so that mid-sized nonprofit organizations that had stable operating budgets and are going to need to keep continuing could also get in on this intergenerational transition of wealth, transfer of wealth. So that's our job, is to help mid-sized nonprofits grow endowment funds when they're ready. So we go through all these lovely things to help you, and pretty much, whether you have a fund or not, we can come meet with you and help you figure out if you're ready, and then when you create an endowed fund, we help to publicize it. We do trainings like this and other things. We have coaches and consultants on staff. If you want external help, we have a grant-making process to help make grants for it. We will come and help train your endowment major gifts committee. Usually it's just 2 or 3 people, but we'll come out with you. And then with the technical part of the administration of the planned gift, when it comes to fruition, we can help transfer that to your endowed fund at the foundation. So we have all these services, and if you have a fund with it, you should be taking advantage of it. And if you don't have a fund with us, we'll come out and meet with you to see if it's the right thing in the right time, and it may or may not be. And you can have an endowed fund with the community foundation as well as another commercial donor fund provider. Some groups have both, and that's all good because people want to give money to different sources. So this is the easier part. We do the accounting, investment, and compliance. The harder part is the actual raising of the planned gifts, and that's what we help with too. In case you don't get enough today, we have an annual meeting in a couple of weeks at the Uptown. Where's Tom? Where's the Uptown? Where's the Uptown? There we are. The Uptown Theater in Westchester is our annual meeting spot. You'll see Zeb, very beginning, and come on and learn some more. And our formula for the annual meeting, 1-hour annual meeting preceded by the 1-hour reception and after a 1-hour reception, because Chester County loves to network. So you can come in, eat, meet, and drink and before, during, and after, whatever works for you. But you're not captive the whole time. But the meet and greet is important for us. And so we also have community conversations to Zoom in for free. And that really helps us to raise voices and work on social justice issues so that everyone can have liberty, life in the pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, in the pursuit of happiness for all. So zoom into those as well, please. There are, in addition to our board services, other board services in Chester County. So we wanted to bring them to your attention, and there's some flyers outside too. Leadership Chester County is a project of the United Way and the Chester County Chamber of Business and Industry, as well as Westchester University. Has anybody been through the leadership program? Stephanie has. I went through the one in Philly. It takes place every month. You have to apply, and there's a tuition of a couple $1,000s for the whole year's worth of programs, and they offer scholarships. So the leadership program is one. And then there's this other place called LaSalle University that has a nonprofit center. And I have to say, I was director for 15 years before I came to the Community Foundation. And we're happy that Ro today is here for LaSalle's nonprofit center. She's going to do a little bit of training with us. Ro, do you want to talk for a minute about LaSalle's services and what folks do and how to do it? Or do you want me to just tap dance? Okay, I'll do it. Ro's shy. She's in little workshops later, so yeah, you'll see it. So at LaSalle's Nonprofit Center, it is located in Philadelphia at 19th and Olney, but the good news is you don't just have to go to LaSalle. The Nonprofit Center uses a cadre of trainers and consultants from the LaSalle alumni community, faculty, as well as associated consultants in the region. And it really has, LaSalle's Nonprofit Center has a huge core of trainers and consultants. And really for the education, the part that we like most is there's a lot of virtual training, so you can go online. Plus, you can do some customized training on site as well. And LaSalle has really focuses on the business side of nonprofits because it started as a program of the business school. And in addition to the training, you can also have expert consultants come help. And there are agreements that you would write up with LaSalle's Nonprofit Center, and if your nonprofit doesn't have enough money to pay for the whole shebang, LaSalle has some arrangements with some grant makers to help subsidize a portion. But if it's free, it's not good. So I say subsidize a portion, right? Because if it's free, we found that it just doesn't get taken seriously. Has anybody taken advantage of LaSalle's Nonprofit Center services? Okay, a couple of you. Yep. And Ajené Livingston here is in his new satellite office and has an arrangement with LaSalle as well as a community foundation. So at 28 West Market Street, Ajené is waiting for you too. So, and Ro will come in, I call it over the border to get from Philadelphia to Chester County. But yeah, there's a huge group of consultants and trainers. So that's some of what we do to help build the capacity of boards. What do you think? Now, guess what? We want to hear from you. We had 2 questions up there. We want to hear from you in a couple of ways. And our thought is, we've got these different training groups at the United Way, Westchester University, LaSalle, and we at the Community Foundation try to get topics that you need and training and help that you want. But we need to understand what you want. So the design is, first I'll let you talk amongst yourselves with a couple people sitting next to you just to get the conversation going. And then I'm going to ask after 5-10 minutes, whatever, for some stand up and talk to the group about what the answers would be to those questions, okay? And here are the 3 questions. Why the heck do you serve as a board member? I mean, the fact is, it takes time. You're here today. It definitely takes energy. And you take on a fiduciary responsibility as a board member. So it takes some investment of funds sometimes as well. So just why do you do it? What motivates you to do it is the first question. And then it's the magic board wand. If we had that magic board wand, first of all, describe how your ideal board would function and what kinds of people are your ideal board members. Well, where do they come from? What do they focus on? What do they do for your board? Okay? So the magic wand to give you your ideal board. And then hopefully from that, we'll be able to come up with some ideas about, are there things we could be doing county-wide throughout the region that would help make your board work more joyful and maybe easier even? And when you look to the future of your board, what do you need the most? So those are the 3 questions. We're going to keep them up there. Sound all right? We'll start there. Talk amongst yourself, and we'll see. Zeb, you want to add something to it?
I was just going to say, what I was going to say is, if you could just turn, like right in here might be a group, just turn, and you can turn your chairs. Chairs turn, so you all circle up there. All right, folks, we're going to come back to the front of the room. We hate to stop your momentum. We hate to stop your good momentum, folks. But if you could turn your attention back toward the front of the room, we hate to stop this great momentum. This is what we're going to do. If I could get your attention real quickly. All right, we have 20 minutes. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. All right, this is what we're going to do. We have 20 minutes, and we just want to do what we call popcorn responses. So I love popcorn. Oh, my gosh. Yes. So what we're going to do is just kind of pop around the room, and we're going to ask folks to answer, 2 answers per question. Thank you. So this group, I'm just going to start right here since you're right here. The first question was, why do you serve as a board member? Just give me your quick as a... Give them a mic. We have to record it? Yes. You need a mic. Yes. You got the backside? You can take that side. I'll take it. Keep mine? Okay. Sorry. All right. Just real quick.
I hope y'all have an answer, girls.
I feel like Phil Donahue. Does anybody remember? When I say that on campus, Phil Donahue, the students are like, who? Why do you serve as a board member? Yeah.
Is that?
You can turn and talk to the room.
Feeds my soul.
Feeds my soul. Why do you serve as a board member? You can stand up and face the room.
Paying it forward.
Paying it forward. This group, somebody. Why do you serve? Stand up and face the room. There you go.
The consensus of our group was passion for whatever cause that we were involved with. So.
Feeds my soul, passion.
Somebody asked me.
The old voluntold.
Kind of like a belief in the mission.
Belief in the mission. You got to feed your soul. Yes, anybody. Go ahead.
We see a need in the community that must be addressed. One of the things we said was to ensure that the organization continues and with their mission.
Awesome, yes.
On this side?
On this side.
We all came in that we were problem solvers.
Problem solving.
You do it.
Because I was a member of the organization for about 24 years, and now I want to give back and help it.
Actually, for me, it's socialization to meet folks in a new town.
Great. Finding people who have ideas and issues and concerns in common. If we had a magic wand, describe how your ideal board functions. Anybody? What did you discuss? We're going to go on this side and work our way back up.
As a party. Yep. Maybe some wine.
As a party.
Party! Oh!
Well, wine, definitely. And a willingness to help.
He said, oh, geez.
We have a legacy board of directors, so to get more involved, when we're looking at what our ideal composition would look like, kind of marketing, HR, things along those lines.
When you say you have a legacy board of directors, what is that?
They're old.
Folks, they are seasoned. They're well preserved. They bring a lot of experience. I mean, anything but that. And now he won't have a job. Anybody looking for a board member? No, please. Please.
As an organization that helps set the tone and strategy of the organization, but then functions more so as a support for the operations of the organization, filling in, gaps and things like that where needed, but really as a support for the operations of the organization. But then as a support, yes, that's right.
So I just want to say this. I was standing by. Tell me your name.
Marilyn.
I was standing beside Marilyn. She grabbed the mic and she goes, "Oh, that's exactly what we talked about." So just so you know, there's some synergy in the room. Yes. All right. Marisol.
Yes. For me, we'll have to be diverse in terms of gender, race, and ethnicity.
Thank you.
And age, of course. I'm talking about we need younger people than me in the boards.
My dad used to say the young and old must dance together.
All right. So, as opposed to everybody on the board doing all of the many responsibilities, trying to identify the strengths of each individual board member and make sure they can contribute in that way and excel in that way. You can actually get a lot done if everyone's doing what they're good at naturally. So coordinating all of that and identifying that can be some work.
How do you do that?
Thanks. No, I just wandered in here. I have no experience. Yeah. Yeah, it just takes time to talk to the board about that exact issue, because sometimes we get into the running of the operation and we need to go one level up and just talk about how we're going to do things. So really it's just time dedicated to this exact topic. That's why we're all here today. So that's part of it, a big part of it.
What do you bring to the board?
What do you bring to the board? What do you want to work on? What have you worked on? What's the experience? And especially the board chair and the leadership needs to get to know each and every board member. Sometimes the board chairs feel like they have to do everything. Really remember the board chair responsibility often is what I'm talking about, which is get to know all of the strengths and to coordinate that, not to do every piece of everything that the board has to do. Don't take that weight on your shoulders of trying to do it all. You've got a team there. Spend time getting to know the team, helping them excel. That's an effective board.
I got it. Bob, you stay there. I'm coming back.
Stand still.
Thanks, Cheryl. Amplify the comment about getting to know board members.
Thank you. I think that ties into one of the reasons I'm here today, and if I had a magic wand, I would improve my skill set in how to navigate through the politics to get things done, because I'm not great at that, and I'm facing some of those issues. So my hope is attending today will help me in that space.
Does that resonate for other folks in the room? Does that resonate for anybody else? Yes. 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 Anybody want to provide some examples? Bob's got one.
I was actually wanting to address when you said, how do you do that? How do you find the people's skill sets and what they want to bring to the community or to the board? And I think our particular board has done an excellent job of that in the interview process and simply asking them. Like seeking out people, knowing, like having a conversation, saying, what are we missing? What do we need as a board to make ourselves a little bit more in tune, what's going on, and then seeking out people and then having those interview questions ready for people who want to join the board. And then once they do join, have an organized section of separate committees of what people are working on and say, pick one. And people will pick what's easy for them, what comes natural. And so it's nice.
We actually have a bunch of finance folks on our committee who don't want to be on the finance committee.
Yes. Correct. Right. People don't want to do their day jobs. People want to go and fulfill their souls, which might be something completely different, such as creativity. Yeah.
To tie into what I'm hearing, a really effective onboarding process that encompasses all the things you're talking about. Have it very structured, be rigorous with it, and it's amazing what happens.
All right. Do we want to explain that a little more? Go ahead, Kathy. And wait, Cheryl, you had something. Go ahead, Kathy.
I think it's important that you ask the question and then you listen to the answer.
Wait, what did you say?
I'm going to echo that.
Listen.
I just wanted to say that I think 3 of our board members, I'm an executive director, and 3 of our board members have already spoken up here, and I think that means we already have the dream board, so.
Oh, Cheryl. Okay, fun for women and girls.
But
or you got some leaders.
We spent a lot of our time talking about how to really ensure that we had diversity, and diversity in the broadest sense, meaning that we really want the perspectives of the entire community at our board table. And how do we get that breadth of perspective when we're making really key decisions? So that was a lot of what we talked about here.
Let me, as we transition to the next question, let me just say this. As a chair of a board and a person who has a job that I travel quite a bit, transitioning a new president, I will say this as well. So this is going both ways. Karen and the staff at the foundation, they make it easy for me to be in this position. So while they understand, you know what, I have a lot going on in other places, plus a family with 2 children, then they make it easy for me to be a good board member. In fact, I said to Karen when we first started, I'm like, yo, tell me the must-tos, the have-tos, the nice-tos, and I prioritize those things, and then that helps our relationship, but also helps me to be visible where I know I need to be, because I do care about what we do, and I want folks to know that, not just with this, but in action. So it's a reciprocal relationship, and if you can have that relationship, that makes it the best, makes it all the better. You have a question? Statement.
So I think it really, I'm on the board of Uptown Theater. I think it's important that you have a matrix that you set up with the current board, and they bring in expertise in whatever business that they have, and interest is also valuable because they may not have that background, but they have an interest to pursue that. The second thing is, once you have that, when you're looking for new board members, you start to fill in the matrix areas that need to be filled in. And the second thing is, which is to me most difficult, is, how do we build a diversified board? And it comes down to also the organization. What are we doing in the public's eye that shows that we're doing diversity? So that you're not just trying to put younger people on the board, you're also pursuing entertainment ideas or events to the younger community.
So your programs
so you
resonate.
have to match those two.
And it's stepping out of your comfort zone. Otherwise, your board all looks like you.
Yeah.
So getting
I'm
to know
say
people
this.
you don't know.
I'm going to say this about Karen.
Uh-oh.
Yes. When did I get on the board?
During COVID, Zeb.
During COVID,
2020.
And I said this the other day. I was the only person on that board that looked like me, right? And I was like, ooh. And our board, our foundation, Karen, championed the fact that we needed to be more diverse. And it wasn't just talking about it. It was stepping into a place that may have made folks feel uncomfortable. But we said, you know what, this means something to us. And now if you look at our board makeup, it is a very diverse board makeup. But that was an intentional step that we understood, you know what, it does create some level of discomfort for folks. But hey, having folks who are different brings a different perspective. And then the board has to be ready to be nimble enough to respond to that and engage in dialogue that might not feel comfortable, but we're here having these conversations. And so that's what this foundation did in 2020. And now I look at our board composition. We had a meeting the other day and the conversation was so rich. And I was like, from then to now, look at where we are. So it makes a difference, but it takes a commitment, and sometimes it takes a commitment to say we're going to step into this space that everybody's not used to, maybe, or maybe not comfortable, but we know if we do it, we'll be better off for it. Last question. We got to roll because we have 5 minutes, right? And so we want to hear from you. We want you to tell us, if you notice, we've got our staff in the room. And we want to find out what you need, right? What does your board need? Am I going all right for you?
You're doing. And, we started to get to a lot of it in the second question.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is, how do we get more diverse
Yes.
people, diverse leaders on board?
Yeah.
So a lot of your answers feed over. So, yeah. And
So
how
if
do
there's
we
anything
resonate?
that you didn't hear that you'd like to add, yes. I do really feel like Phil Donahue.
Go ahead. One of the things we said is we need things like the training you're providing today, and I'll give you an example that ties into some things that have been said. I attended last year. I had just taken the position as the chair of governance and didn't really know what my role was supposed to be, so I came here to learn. And one of the things I learned was the importance of onboarding and mentoring. And in the course of the last year, we've created a pretty robust onboarding and mentoring program, and I will credit this organization for starting that, the germination of that idea. So, thank you.
It's a good workshop we have. We have handouts. If you can't find it, just call us or text us. We'll let you know. And Betty, you had something. Please talk to the group. You can stand up.
I'm sorry. I just want to echo what Seth just stated in terms of uncomfortability and having a diverse board. A diverse board is people that look all different, and Chester County looked different from 30 years ago when I came to this town. So making an inclusive board of all kinds for what we look like today, I think is really important.
And the journey continues. Sir. Oh, hi.
One of the things I would like from the foundation is something you did some years ago before COVID. I don't remember the name. You will. It was beer and boards. Right?
We had bagels and boards in the morning and beer and boards in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You want more beer and boards or bagels on boards? And both. You're
Well,
right.
it
You can
was-
start that up again.
there were a-
Sorry, Steph. Got more to do.
A couple reasons
Steve.
it was good. One, it didn't take a whole Saturday or three-quarters of
know.
a Saturday. It was regional, so easy to get to, and it was focused on a topic, and it allowed a lot of discussion. It was great, face-to-face is good. So, and it allowed some of our board members who we haven't been able to get here to
Right.
participate in those things. It was really well done.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll just do them throughout the county. Beer on boards. I think we're better than bagels on boards, to tell you the truth. Yeah, and we met at a public place and just took over a room, and yeah, okay. Thanks for bringing that up, Dave. Good.
Yeah,
What
so
else?
just to add to that, I would say that I know, we're from Phoenixville. I think there's 70 registered nonprofits in Phoenixville alone.
Yeah.
So the number of nonprofits is growing, which is amazing, but I don't know who they are all the time.
Okay.
And so it's really important for me to be able to know, because people will call me and they'll say, hey, I have this problem. If I know what other organizations are out there, I can connect and network. So things like this are really important for me to know that. And so having that information, that also can help contribute to getting more diverse board members, right? If you
Right.
know what we're doing, maybe you're interested in it and you want to come do it, and that's what we're looking for.
So what organization do you represent?
Ann's Heart in Phoenixville.
Oh, thank you.
We are a
Okay.
hub of help.
You are a hub. All right, thanks. Anything else?
So, building on what both of the last two folks said, is not just knowing what else is out there, but knowing what other similar organizations to your own is out there,
Right.
and maybe finding a way for those boards to convene together, because they might have similar issues, and somebody could have solved a problem or be
Right.
on a way to a solution, and then you're sharing resources and also expanding your networks.
So referrals, break down the silos, partnerships. Yeah, because the issues today are pretty big, and we've got to have partners. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, where my head's going is that we flipped the script on, instead of 80% of the results coming from 20% of the board, to make the mission and the group so cohesive, like, that what you guys seem to share and what's happening in your board, maybe benchmarking some of the things you guys might be doing to get 80% of the results from 80% of the people. If we're using magic wand, right?
There are best practices with magic wands, too. Good. In the interest of time and knowing that we have some incredible workshops coming up, how do we do?
Yes, I just want to say thank you all for being here again. And more than just being here, for me, this was rich. This was rich. The energy in the room, folks being willing to talk and provide your thoughts and feedback, it's helpful. It's energizing. I am now going to get in my helicopter. I'm going to vaporize, and because I'm not going to speed, Karen, I promise you that.
You better not speed.
But I'm going over to the university. But again, thank you, and I hope and pray you have a great day. Have a nice day. Thank you for coming.
But stay here. We got more to come. Hold on.